né? Uso da musa.
Grace pushes open the front door to
Cara.
Calliope's apartment.
Oh, it's open. That's not a good sign.
Traduzir. Narrador fala.
Musical instruments rest on a small stage at the back of the room. Guitars hang next to framed pictures on the walls.
Fosse meio que mais ou menos cenário.
This is Calliope's apartment? I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. Hello? Oh, sure, Grace, good job. Just announce to the killer that you're here. I better have a look around.
Tá. Olhar para arco, fotos Elvis, cura.
Did she paint that? Looks like it belongs in a museum.
Guitarra.
And look at that. That's beautiful. How do you even get one of these? After Calliope left the audition, where did she go? Did she follow me? Did she come here?
Pintura. Oh.
Andy Warhol, yeah, that makes sense. I wonder how many celebrities she knew. These aren't... Do I inherit these as the new muse? Is that even okay to ask? I want to believe this is just an ironic photo of Elvis and she wasn't like his muse, or... Giant harp. Of course there's a giant harp.
Eu não vou piano, velho. Demais.
So many instruments in here.
Tocar.
Did she play all of them?
Vamos andar pro...
There is a winding staircase on one side of the room, leading upstairs.
Anything useful down here? Maybe there's something upstairs? Oh man.
Grace walks through the door upstairs. She spots an unknown man sitting on a chair in the middle of a messy room.
Keep it together, Grace. It's just your average, everyday...
There were only 3 muses, you know, not 9. Whenever they found someone who made something truly masterful or created a new art form, they'd pass on their idol on. Take a new name.
Apollo looks down at a picture he is holding of himself and Calliope. They are smiling and appear very happy.
You see, that's how the mortals became confused. They got it wrong. Like they got almost everything about us wrong.
You scared me. Sitting there in the dark.
Oh.
For all I know, you could be the killer come to hide the evidence or raid the fridge.
Oh, I'm just here to mourn an old and very dear friend. If I may ask, How did you find this place? And what are you doing here?
I'm isso.
Anne told me about it. I was hoping I could find something, some clue about what happened.
You've already met Pan? How odd.
Well, at least he lifted a finger to help me. For his own gain, maybe, but it's better than nothing.
I honestly wish I could help you, Grace. You and Calliope both deserved better.
Você pode me falar sobre Parte, porque você não pode me ajudar. Se você por favor, porque Parte está tão bagunçado.
Can you tell me about Calliope? I barely knew her, but she seemed
She was a beautiful soul, if troubled.
troubled.
She thought the idols had lost their way. She argued with us, with all of us, that we needed to change. We hadn't spoken in years. I hadn't seen her home before today. I'd rather not talk about it.
Why can't you help me exactly? Pan said there's no specific rule against it.
It's not that I'm forbidden to help you, Grace. It's that you don't want my help.
Of course I do! You have to know more than me about almost everything!
Help will only make things worse.
How is that possible? I've been sentenced to death.
Without my help, you stand a chance of avoiding that fate.
I should thank you for, speaking up for me.
It wasn't right, what they were doing.
It still isn't. I still need help.
I'm not disputing that, Grace. I just don't think that I'm the one to help you.
This room is a mess. Did you do this?
With this? It was like this when I got here.
You didn't think that was in the least bit strange?
I didn't think much of it. I came here to be reminded of Calliope, not to search through her things. And it's cleaner than my place.
So you didn't mess up the room, but someone must have. There could be a clue.
Nothing that I've seen. All this mess, as you put it, is likely the result of her projects.
Projects?
When Calliope got an idea in her head, she would obsess over it, sometimes for months, even years. I don't know what she was involved with lately, but this... for her, this is nothing.
So let me get this straight. You'll speak up for me, but you won't lift a finger to help.
You don't want me to do more.
Keep saying that, but it doesn't make any sense. If you didn't want to help, that'd be one thing. But insisting I don't want you to? Why not?
Apollo stands up and walks away from Grace, facing away from her to look out a window.
Uma bangada no olho. Olha tudo isso, né, velho? Caralho.
Can't do this.
Calliope was clearly important to you. Don't you want to know the truth?
Of course I do.
Then what's the problem? Don't do it for me. Do it for her.
Vai começar a cantar.
I haven't sung in centuries.
According to Pan, I can't force anyone to do anything.
Sabia que ia começar a cantoria.
Phantom pains from a missing friend, feeding thoughts, thoughts that never end. What did I do? what didn't I do? Here she is, only in your head. Long gone fights, but they're never dead. What did I
Não
do?
podia acontecer.
What
Caralho,
didn't I
eu
do?
tirei a mão do mouse, velho.
Anytime I'm stuck on what I did and didn't do, I just scan the distance for
Ai,
the
foi
next
totalmente diferente do que eu joguei, tá?
thing. What is the next thing for you?
Next thing, she often said that too. We were statues hiding under sheets, collecting dust. She burst through the door and shouted, "Next thing, come to the next thing."
You held fast. What's that about?
Stubborn me thought I'd wait her out. Usually she'd come back to me. You see, she'd return, and we'd do that old dance, knowing both there was not a chance that I would change. But she never came.
I'm not saying I believe you killed Calliope. Problem is, I find you here the next thing. People are saying
It was not me.
you can say with 50 different words it wasn't you. Words are just a small part, it's the next thing. You know the next thing is do.
But I've tried.
Never with me. We haven't tried.
And let's see.
Always knew that you would come around.
That hidden voice, it will always play. It's on a loop, it will always say, what did I do? What didn't I do? It's a song you can't erase, but you can make a tiny space for something new.
The next thing.
The next thing. The next thing.
Well, I'll help. Though I'm uncertain what you expect me to do.
Athena called you the god of prophecy, didn't she? Isn't that telling the future?
Prophecy is the last thing you need, Grace.
Parece que é útil, você pode explicar o porquê. Não.
Would it be helpful if you could explain why exactly? This is all new to me, remember?
Of course, that's true. It's so easy to forget that. To receive a prophecy is not simply to be told what might happen, it's to be told what will happen. To know a prophecy is to be bound to its outcome. Only in ignorance is one free to choose.
You're talking about fate, aren't you? Destiny.
I am.
I can't say I've ever believed in fate.
You probably didn't believe in magic either, but here we are.
It's a good point.
My power is to pick at the strands of fate and make a single path clear. But in doing so, all other paths vanish. Worse, prophecies are never crystal clear. Sometimes you won't understand the full meaning until it's too late.
Então estou condenada. Isso muito poder. Curiosidade. Você direto.
So you're saying I'm doomed. All roads lead to doom, and there's nothing I can do about it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're still free to act, Grace. But there might be something else I can do to help.
Apollo walks towards the door.
With me. There's someone I'd like you to meet.
Grace and Apollo enter Apollo's beach house. The interior is messy and filled with trash.
This is where you live?
Oh, yes. Sometimes. And excuse the mess. I don't get many visitors.
Brincadeira.
Don't worry about it. I have 3 brothers. I've seen a mess or two.
Oh, you're being kind. I admit I hadn't realized how bad it was.
You said I'm here to meet someone?
Ah, yes. Do you know what an oracle is?
You mean like the Oracle of Delphi? People went to ask her questions, I think, or was that just another story?
You know about that. Okay. Well, that'll make this easier. There have been many oracles over the ages. They serve as a sort of conduit for my powers. This allows them to offer insight, knowledge they have no earthly means to possess. Always been one. Over the ages, no matter where I go, one manages to find me.
There's an oracle here.
There is.
Grace and Apollo walk over to a teenage girl in a hoodie, sitting behind a laptop. She doesn't look up at them as they approach.
What?
I've brought someone to see you.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not a magic fortune cookie. Is that what Paul told you? Oracle's my handle. And even if I was the Oracle, I'm certainly not his Oracle.
You know what Apollo is, right?
Oh, I know what Paul says he is. Just because someone says they can fly does not make them the Tooth Fairy. Look, I'm sure he told you all sorts of nonsense.
I ask very little of you, Oracle. Your help here would be appreciated.
Fine. Don't get your abs in a twist. Okay, so Paul brought you all this way just to see little old me. What's on your mind, sis?
Keep saying Paul. Do you mean Apollo?
Yeah, I know. Apollo, if that is his real name, says he's a god of prophecy, blah, 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 blah.
But you don't believe him.
Believe him? Who'd believe that? It's super weird, but he's a decent guy, so he can be Apollo if he wants, but I just can't call him that.
So you're an oracle who uses the internet, huh?
Like I said, it's my handle, and yeah. It's a sweet setup, huh? Some of it's even legit.
The parts I purchased for her, presumably.
Bargain for, fair and square. And I keep telling you to get me an Ethernet cable.
I don't know what that is.
It's the 21st century, Paul, and your 21st century Oracle needs her some download speed, okay?
You live here?
I crash here, yeah. Better here than home.
Showed up one day, as the oracles do. Naturally, she is welcome to stay as long as she likes.
And see the way he talks. I thought maybe he was a creepiverse, but nah, Paul's aight.
The highest of praise.
He'd be more alright if he did some laundry.
Tell me, is Apollo always so...
Incredibly emo? Like a sack stuffed with sad?
I am standing right here.
Don't get me wrong. It grows on you after a while.
Grace, surely this is not what you came for.
I don't know. It's cute watching you get all flustered.
Well, it's hardly productive, is it?
See, there you go again.
Get a room. A different room.
I'm looking for information about someone named Calliope. Can you help?
Oh, the lady from that apartment I sent Paul to. Yeah, I've been checking that out.
What did I tell you?
Looked it up. You could do the same if you learned to use the computer. Here, hold up, I'll show you. There. The apartment was originally purchased 2 years ago by a holding company, Core with a K Enterprises.
Oh, I see. That would be Persephone.
Ele é do couro.
Persephone is in the one from the chorus. The one who wanted me dead, Persephone.
I wasn't aware Persephone and Calliope were friendly. Certainly not friendly enough for Persephone to give Calliope an apartment. The news is that Persephone is easy to find. I can take you to her if you like.
Haverá algum
I'm
problema?
thinking she won't be happy to see me.
Persephone is rarely happy to see anyone.
Apollo walks over to the fridge and removes a card.
Great! We're all done now.
Thank you for your help, Oracle. Please, do try to get out from behind your screens at least once today. Perhaps go for a walk.
Yeah, sure, will do. Leave a tip on your way out.
Grace looks at the card with a frown.
Para pra todo mundo.
Grace and Apollo walk into a dark nightclub filled with club goers.
Welcome to the underworld.
Wow. How have I never heard of this place?
Persephone keeps it a secret, while still managing to draw a crowd every night. Don't ask me how.
Hermes, the stranger who took Grace to the chorus, is here, drinking alone. Pan is also seated at one of the booths nearby.
The underworld, idols can be
Tá
themselves,
bugada, né?
even if they don't look human.
Oh. Lugar estranho.
Persephone runs a nightclub called the Underworld. It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Maybe, but I wouldn't say that to her.
Still, it seems like a weird thing for a god to do.
We all get through the years somehow, Grace. If we're to find Persephone in all this, we'll need to split up. Have you considered what you'll say to her?
Não posso simplesmente perguntar a ela.
I don't think I could just ask her about it.
Not if she doesn't want to talk to you. She may need a Nudge? You need to be prepared to use your powers, as you did with me. Come find me in the crown if you need anything. Otherwise, be careful, Grace.
Tá, fale com a Polly, fale com ela.
Grace approaches the man standing by himself upstairs. He watches the crowd with interest, seeming distracted, until he notices Grace.
Oh, hey. You're the new muse, aren't you?
I guess I am, yeah.
Aphrodite mentioned it. Didn't figure I'd see you here, though. Oh, excuse the manners. Name's Eros, god of sex.
Isso.
Did you say that you're the god of sex?
Desire, really. Sensuality. Attraction. Why? Were you expecting a chubby little flying baby with a bow and arrow?
I wasn't.
I actually preferred Cupid, but Pan had to be the trickster. Spread all those stupid stories.
I'm sorry.
Why? It's not your fault. Just another grudge I get to carry around forever.
Pegou de quase flash.
You know Aphrodite, right? I only met her the once.
Sure, she's my mother. You know how it is.
How would I know? New here, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't thinking. But you hear a lot of idols talk about each other like that. You know, mother, brother, sister, grandfather. None of us are actually related. We just played a family for so many centuries, it may as well be true.
O que tá fazendo aqui?
The god of sex at a club. Looking for someone?
Once I might have, sure. Now I'm just here to see it happen.
What happened?
Out there. See all these people. The anticipation, the connections, they bounce off each other. To me, it's like lightning.
Você gosta disso? Tá pouco assustador. Parece divertido.
There are worse ways to spend a night out.
I used to make it happen, you know. Mortals once begged me to make it happen, to inspire true love. Now I only inspire sex. Not the same thing. Just as well. People should find true love the hard way. They'll value it more.
Aphrodite is your mother, but not really.
That's right. A long time ago, she took care of me when I needed taking care of. The mortals, they just assumed. These days, well, it's not like that anymore. We're not as invulnerable as we used to be. Least of all, Aphrodite.
Tá tudo bem?
I'm a little distracted. Is everything okay?
Of course it is. Sure.
Eros looks down, suddenly sad.
Not obvious, huh? Truth is, I don't come here that often. No, it's hard to get away. I just want... Nope, never mind.
Tá triste. Pode falar comigo. Quero.
Willing to listen if you need to talk.
Appreciate that. Maybe some other time.
Here's the thing. I'm looking for Persephone, but I can't find her anywhere.
Well, I know where she is, but I question whether she'd be happy to see you. Look, I like you, but Mother told me what happened at the chorus. I don't want to cause trouble with Persephone.
Não haverá nenhum problema.
If I could guarantee that there wouldn't be a problem.
Huh. How could you guarantee that?
First, I'd reassure you that I'm here to work things out with Persephone. I don't want to fight. Second, if that didn't pan out, I'd tell her I lied to you.
Making me the idiot who fell for it.
Oh, I don't know. I can be tricksy.
Okay. Fine. When you're ready to see her, you let me know, and I'll take you. Deal?
Caraca,
Deal.
acertei de primeira, mano. Tá. É isso. Ah, aquele maluco. Me levou lá.
Hermes is near the dance floor, grooving by themselves to the music and looking happy.
Oh, you're here. I mean, you gotta be somewhere, but you're here.
Hello, Hermes.
Sorry about running off on you back at the thing. Didn't really have a choice, but sorry anyway.
Então, com essa
You're
história.
not much like the other idols, are you?
No? I haven't been an idol very long. Maybe like a year? I've lost track. So, I'm not the one to ask about the idol stuff. It's all cool, but mostly I do whatever Athena asks. Athena says one day I'll sit on the chorus. That'll be sick. Can you imagine me in charge?
Não, é sempre comando. Por que não?
Why not? Maybe you can shake some dust off the other idols.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of dust.
You're right about that.
I don't think Athena would let me clean anything anyway. She won't even let me touch her spear.
Como você se tornou deus?
You've only been an idol for a year? How did that happen?
Probably same way it did with you.
The old Hermes died in your arms and then they accused you of his murder?
No. Well, yes. I mean, no, not like that. But yeah. I was there when he died. Friends, and I was having trouble at home and he helped me out. I miss him.
Why do you call yourself Hermes? I mean, I don't call myself Calliope.
Might eventually.
I doubt it.
Most idols do. Not everyone, though, so I don't know, maybe not you.
Quando você se tornou
When Calliope died, you were right there, within moments. How did you know?
I told you. I got word, so I came.
How did you get word?
Look, when an idol dies, I have to be there, so I just know. It's a Hermes thing.
Você levou o corpo? Levou
To
o corpo?
take the body, clean up the blood, that sort of thing?
Oh, that too, yeah. But that's on Athena's orders.
Keep the idol's secret?
Sure. Can you imagine the questions? I don't know how we hide so well as it is.
This is probably a stupid question, but do you know who might have killed Calliope?
Ugh, why would I know anything about that?
When you came to the apartment, it seemed like you knew her.
Oh no, I only met her once. She didn't live with the rest of the idols or hang out with us very much. She seemed nice though. Angry, maybe. But I don't know who'd want to hurt her.
Ela não gostava do Zinho? Editada. Parece.
Sounds as if she didn't much like the idols.
It was more like how you can't stand your family sometimes, even if you still love them.
See you around?
Die then for sure. But, don't die.
As I live and breathe, if it isn't our dear muse.
Hi, Pam.
Tell me, have you decided to leave your troubles behind and join us in the land of shadows and revelry?
I'm guessing it's a total coincidence that I'm running into you here.
It must be. The alternative would be that I knew a great many things ahead of time.
Well, did you?
Do I look like an oracle? I am here to listen to thrilling music and meet delicious people. My tastes are simple.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of simple tastes, my glass is empty again. The service here is appalling.
I should thank you for the address. It's what led me here.
No need to thank me. You'll owe me. Remember, how you managed to stir the sun god from his oh so tiresome gloom, I cannot imagine. Nicely done.
Did you know Apollo would be at that apartment?
However would I know something like that?
You play innocent, but I just don't believe you.
Flatterer.
I assume you're a regular at this club?
And why would you assume that, dear Grace?
The horns, you. Do you know Persephone well?
There is no knowing Persephone well. She won't have it. Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Long ago, we were all very different. Over the span of ages, however, even mountains erode.
The things you say, the things you don't say. You don't make yourself seem trustworthy. You know that?
Trust is for the weak and the penniless.
Still not helping.
Why, Grace, are you assuming that I, Pan, am some sort of scoundrel?
Hoping, maybe.
Don't say.
At least you're not boring.
Grace, I knew there was a reason I liked you.
I should get going. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
One can only hope.
I thought
Grace approaches Apollo, leaning against a wall, keeping away from the crowd.
it'd be easier. But it's as if Persephone left instructions to thwart me. Every staff member I approach screams and runs off. I hope your search has been more successful.
It might help if I knew more about Persephone.
It couldn't hurt. What would you like to know, exactly?
My Greek mythology is a little rusty, but isn't Persephone the one who was kidnapped?
Oh, you know about that. What else do you know?
Just that Persephone was a sweet girl and Hades, lord of the underworld, swept her off to the land of the dead.
Without so much as a by your leave, yes. Her mother, Demeter, was so enraged she blanketed the world in ice, rendering it barren and infertile. Zeus was forced to act. He decreed that Persephone would be shared between Demeter and Hades, and thus the matter was resolved.
Grace looks at Apollo incredulously.
Well, you asked. That's her story, as the mortals tell it.
I thought she was just mad at me, but everyone seems afraid of Persephone.
Noticed that, did you? Persephone is angry with everyone, and has been for a very long time. She has her reasons. I can't say she doesn't, but She does not let go of a grudge. 1,000 years could pass, and Persephone will remember what you did like it was yesterday.
You don't come here often, I'm guessing?
Ever. I'm sure Persephone only sent the membership as a formality. I doubt she thought I'd ever use it.
Don't you ever have fun? No drinking or dancing in Apollo land?
Apollo looks away.
Once, when I had the muses to keep me company.
Cara. Yeah.
You know, fun doesn't just happen, Apollo. It's okay to not beat yourself up 100% of the time.
No.
I know you know, but you're in a club. Live a little.
This style of music is unfamiliar to me, but thank you, Grace. I'll try my best.
So tell me, how much of Persephone's legend is true?
Let's see. Hades did kidnap Persephone. That certainly did happen. The idols almost went to war over it until Zeus intervened and ordered Hades and Persephone to wed. That quieted things. At least until Persephone killed Hades.
Whoa.
As I understand it, Hades was not kind to her. I'd like to say we handled it well, that Zeus and the idols were mindful of what Persephone had been through, but that would be a lie. Persephone was punished for the murder, the underworld taken from her, and we all stood by and let it happen. He has never forgiven us, and honestly, I can't blame her.
The idols changed much, you think, since those days?
Well, you know the saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Persephone killed another idol.
Oh, long time ago, yeah.
What about all of Athena's rules? Wouldn't Persephone have been, I don't know,
Executed? The murder of Hades is probably why we now have that rule. Back then, we heard Persephone had usurped Hades' throne, but we couldn't believe it. It just wasn't done. Now, of course, I look back and think we should have seen it coming. Oh, the benefit of hindsight.
why didn't you see it coming? You're the god of prophecy.
I learned long ago not to.
So what happened to Persephone after...
The murder? She survived, like the rest of us. She got older. When we came to the New World, I think she would have left us if it was allowed. It isn't, so instead she did as she pleased. She started a cult, became a crime boss.
Oh, what?
It was after her last transition, but honestly, I have no insight into anything Persephone does these days.
I found someone who will bring me to Persephone.
Finally, I'll be right behind you.
You're coming with me? But I thought...
She seems even angrier with you than she is with me. I might be able to mediate.
We'll see, I guess.
Are we not going to see Persephone? I thought you'd found a way to her.
Should get going. Persephone awaits.
Right behind you.
Grace and Apollo walk over to Eros, who points at the bar on the ground floor. Persephone stands with her back to them, facing the bar. She looks over her shoulder at Grace and Apollo, and walks over to Grace.
If you're angry with anyone, Persephone, be angry with me. It was I who...
We'll deal with you later. I was willing to leave you be, Grace, to wait until your guilt was certain. And yet here you are, in my domain, uninvited. Why? Are you here to beg for mercy? Are you here to challenge me? Should I be afraid?
What is your problem with me exactly? You've had it in for me the moment you saw me.
My problem? My problem is that I'm filled with questions, Grace. Filled to the brim. You really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you? What's the real story? Did you stumble across her as she lay dying and desperate? Are you an accident? Did you learn what she was? Did you torture her, hold her at the point of death until she agreed to hand over her eidolon?
Persephone, this isn't...
That's my problem, Grace. With you. And you can't make it go away.
You knew Calliope.
We all knew Calliope.
He was staying at your apartment.
You knew her. Better than I or anyone else suspected.
Are you implying that I had something to do with her death?
Prove you didn't. That's how idols work, isn't it?
You hear that? You're in my house, little muse. You want answers? Fight for them. A lost girl. You shouldn't have come here. And I sure ain't in the mood to make new friends. Go home, little girl. The shadows drawing near, and you all alone. We both know how this ends. Let's see how far she bends. We all know how this ends.
Hope everyone's having a great night. I guess I'm this evening's sacrifice. I'll see what I can do. You deserve a good show. Big hand for your usual MC. She's planned a brutal takedown just for me. Hopefully I'll last a couple rounds. You deserve a good show. I won't let you down.
My, we caught a butterfly, such a delicate thing. What a find, I hope she doesn't mind when we pull off her wings. Maybe you don't know who I am. Maybe you don't know who I am.
Wait, you're she the Persephone? Oh boy, a celebrity dissing me. Now remind me, P, jog my memory. Sorry, not up on my ancient history. Underworld, now that rings a bell. Was it you who was married to the king of hell? It's hazy, Hades. So you're his lady before my time because I'm such a baby.
Pop quiz, what do you think that this is? Some little poetry slam. Cute rhymes, but you're out of time. Do you know who I am? Maybe you don't know who I am.
Please teach me my ABCs. Me, I never featured in Euripides. So where are they now? Wow, look around. You're the big cheese of a hole in the ground.
Aqui no ego.
Don't you have any idea what you're dealing with, child?
Ego.
Surprise, surprise, coins on your eyes. Give them to the ferryman. Get it in your little head. You're spitting at the queen of the dead.
You're not my queen pea, I'm alive. You got a real life muse in this basement dive. You could use a boost. Should I play a gig? Hey, word of mouth works, P. It'll be big.
Take care, you're poking a bear.
See, I'm making new friends and I'm just warming up. Hope the backstage is big, cause it's gonna erupt.
You're no threat, you're already dead.
We having fun yet? Yeah, I can't complain. Sorry, Seth, were you talking about yourself again?
Time to put an end to the sham. Seems like you want to see firsthand who I really am.
You're lost, Persephone. Look at yourself.
Aqui no ego. Ai,
What are you trying to prove? And to whom? You ate a bad seed. That's not on me.
essa aqui no ego. Vai.
Rotten too long, blossomed all
We
wrong.
change shape. In time, you'll see we all rot away into who we will be. Your youth wasn't stolen like it was from me.
Let me help you.
Don't touch me. I don't need help from any of you. I was alone when you know who kidnapped and crushed all my dreams till a muse. I just want Calliope back.
Okay, show's over.
1,000 times
It's nearly dawn.
the single note should take you down now.
Work lights on.
Without even trying, and you didn't mind. 1,000 times
Finish your beer.
one note, and suddenly
Don't
you're
have to go
home.
But you can't stay here.
You're the song, and you're being sung. The lullaby, the muse. Not an easy thing to lose. Wish I could hear it.
Aqui no ego.
Again.
Na ferida.
No. No, you've earned your answers.
Grace, Apollo and Persephone standing Persephone's office. In her office in the underworld, Persephone is facing away from Grace and Apollo, her arms crossed.
Calliope came to me years ago. She'd grown tired of arguing with the idols, tired of being branded a troublemaker. She couldn't watch the idols wither away without a fight. I knew how she felt. So I gave her the apartment.
So you must know better than anyone what she's been up to.
Not exactly. Calliope and I haven't spoken for at least 2 years. After I heard the news, I went to the apartment and turned it upside down. I had to know the truth.
That was you?
I didn't find anything. Nothing to say what she had been involved with, or gotten into, or who she might have been fighting with.
That means one of two things. Either whatever happened to her was sudden, or it was secret.
I suppose you're right.
Calliope was never one to keep secrets. When she was doing something, everyone knew about it.
None of you were talking to her. Who would she tell?
You're clever. Maybe there's a chance Calliope chose you after all.
If it wasn't Grace, that means someone else was behind Calliope's death. Someone who could keep their involvement hidden.
One of us.
Does it have to be an idol? You thought I killed Calliope. Couldn't it have been some other mortal?
Despite how he might look, it's not a simple matter to kill an idol.
It was difficult enough to believe you had done it. Another mortal killed her. They somehow escaped detection. We found nothing, no evidence of a battle.
You looked?
Of course we looked. What do you think was happening while you waited? If Calliope was attacked elsewhere, even magic revealed no trace of it.
Did Calliope have any enemies? The way you talk about her, she must have.
Apollo looks at Persephone, who glances away.
What? What am I missing?
Calliope had a way of making people angry. She could be argumentative.
Yes, but enough to make enemies who wanted her dead?
Not that you or I know of, apparently, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist.
What about Pan? He showed up at my place out of nowhere, right after I left the chorus.
He did what?
I have to wonder what his angle is.
He has one, that's for certain. Though I've never thought of him as a killer. It would be too messy.
Still, we should consider the idea. For him to show up so quickly is odd.
Couldn't we go to Athena with this? If you've changed your minds and you're both part of the chorus.
Athena would be sympathetic, but the die has been cast.
She won't go back on the edict, not without clear evidence.
Oh, now you want evidence.
She acted on the information she had. If we want to sway her, we need something better.
Wait. Did you say magic?
You can battle me through a song in a world of your own creation, and yet magic is beyond belief?
Well, sure. I just thought...
We have our powers just as you have yours.
I can grow a field of corn like nobody's business.
Some would say our powers are also magic, but true magic is a different and older power. Hecate's domain.
And it was of no use here.
We shouldn't rule it out. We haven't tried everything yet.
What about Athena? She seemed awfully insistent on declaring me guilty, don't you think?
Athena? No, Athena follows the rules.
Well...
Athena has one goal, and one goal only. To protect the idols. And that included Calliope. She'll eventually drive us all mad with her vigilance, but break her own rules? I don't see it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know the idols. Don't you have any ideas?
Told you I wouldn't be of much help, Grace.
Did you now? That's unsurprising. When are you ever of help to anyone but yourself?
Says the woman who forced Grace to challenge her rather than answer a simple question.
Calliope died, Apollo. Calliope, who came with us all the way from the old world.
You think I don't know that? Are you forgetting what the Muses meant to me?
Stop it! Stop fighting! Is this what the idols are like? You just what? Live forever and never get over anything? Super. Becoming a god was such a gift, wow.
Calliope, I'm listening now. Tell us what end you were doomed to.
Calliope, blinded by fire, what match did you strike that consumed you?
How could you blame her? What could she have done to earn such a fate? You are blinded.
God of the sun hides from his own eyes. What would you know about fate?
You say that you knew her, she was family to us, yet you don't hesitate to accuse her. Oh, queen without a throne, go bitter with fury. Not everyone seeks to betray you.
Stop this! There is something missing we're blinded to.
Yes, there's more to seek.
Apollo, your help is not needed here. Go ahead and abandon another muse.
How could you throw that gauntlet at me? Could your heart shrivel any further?
You abandoned me to a terrible fate.
You replay your injuries
It's
till
far
it's too
too
late.
You know how far I've been before I
trapped.
snapped.
This is not
not
about you. Enough! This helps no one.
There he is, God of the sun. Apollo, for my sake, take a deep breath. I need your help, not your anger. These old wounds, they distract and blind you. You can't see yourselves. He doesn't know what's important.
And you do.
Follow him or stay.
Apollo leaves the room, and Grace follows after him. Apollo leans against the wall of an alley outside the underworld. Grace approaches him.
That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go.
You kind of went dark and stormy back there. It was impressive.
I honestly thought I had left that behind me.
Left what? Signs of life? The world won't wither if you raise your voice, Apollo.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I just wish old habits didn't return so easily around her.
Family thing, huh?
That's why I've tried to avoid my fellow idols for so long. I don't like who I am when I'm with them.
I know what you mean. I'll be 14 around my parents forever.
Try living in their house for 1,000 years.
Ooh, no thanks.
Apollo pauses, thinking.
At least coming here was useful. You have a better idea of where to start looking, right?
Where is that?
Need to give it some thought. This won't be easy. If another idol is behind this, they know as well. They had a plan.
So you don't know where to look next?
I need time to sort it out. Just be patient, Grace.
I have to ask, is Athena really not an option? She wouldn't see what you see? At all?
I respect Athena. She has dragged us into the modern age, sometimes kicking and screaming. She's why we're alive. If I said that her need to keep us safe didn't drive her to extremes, I'd be lying. You represent a risk, Grace. To her, that is more important than any notion of compassion or justice.
Maybe whoever's behind this knows that, and is counting on it.
How? No one could have known you would become the muse.
Maybe they just don't want to muse around. Though why is a good question.
Good thinking. Though I'm not sure who would benefit. Something to keep in mind.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Someplace I can look?
Don't you want to relax? You haven't rested since this began.
Relax? Who can relax? I've been sentenced to death, Apollo.
Fair point. Even so, go home, Grace. The next time you see me, I'll have a better notion of what to do.
Fine. But I'm holding you to that.
Acto 2.
Grace enters the apartment and finds Freddy sitting on the couch.